You are listening to a series of 10 podcasts on the judicial branch of the United States government, presented by Citizen U. Episode 8. Explain the process by which the U.S. Supreme Court makes its decisions. How do cases end up before the U.S. Supreme Court? Cases that are heard in the U.S. Supreme Court must first show standing. Standing means that there is a constitutional question at stake. The legal process also takes substantial resources. Money is often a hurdle to overcome when considering an expensive appeal. There are thousands of appeals made every year from appellate courts to the U.S. Supreme Court. Yet each year the Supreme Court docket, or calendar, only provides time to review about 80 cases. The odds are not good for your case being heard. The odds of your appeal being heard are improved if two lower court decisions contradict. If the Supreme Court agrees to hear your appeal, they grant what's called a writ of certiorari. This is a Latin term meaning to make certain. It takes 4 of the 9 justices to grant a writ of certiorari. With only 4 justices required to accept an appeal, we see another example of how our government protects the rights of minority viewpoints. When the Supreme Court decides, there is no further appeal. The decision is final. Once your case has been granted certiorari, the Supreme Court studies the critical briefs. These are the critical arguments that were made in the previous court hearings. Here, the increased power of the law clerks is felt most. Each of the 9 Supreme Court justices has at least 2 clerks who help weed through the complex legal arguments. Each case is given time for an oral argument. Before all 9 justices, lawyers are given 30 minutes to make their case. When the U.S. government is involved, the Solicitor General makes the formal arguments. Many think this stage is purely cathartic. The most important arguments are found in the legal briefs and in the amicus briefs, which also include law review articles. Supreme Court justices are influenced by legal elites. Friends of the court write amicus briefs. These are affected parties who are not formally connected to the case. After oral arguments, the court meets to discuss the case. The Chief Justice guides the debate. In the end, the court votes. All that is required is a simple majority to decide. The most frequent vote tally in most court terms is 5-4. If there is a tie vote in the Supreme Court, the previous court decision prevails. A simple vote is not enough. Once the court has decided the outcome, it is essential for the justices to write their rationale in a formal opinion. You are listening to a series of 10 podcasts on the judicial branch of the United States government, presented by Citizen U.